Crystal Kennedy. I'm co-chair of the Community and Economic Development Committee, and I'm calling this meeting to order. It is March the 4th, 9:30 a.m. your time, 11:30 a.m. my time. I'm in Colorado with in-laws, so I hope that we won't have too much distraction here. I'll try to keep that down to a minimum, but I can't guarantee that the phone won't ring or anything else. But anyway, try to do this as best we can. And believe me, there's enough distractions here on my end that if I'm missing something in the meeting, particularly with those that are using the chat for something, please feel free to draw that to my attention. So bear with me here. Mandy, could you go ahead and call the roll at this point, please? Thanks.
Mr. Whittleton? Ms. Kennedy?
Here.
Mr. Peterson?
Present.
Mr. Constant? Mr. Dunbar? Ms. Zalatel? And then for non-committee members, Mr. Rivera? Mr. Perez-Verdia? Ms. Allard?
Good morning. Here.
Ms. LaFrance? Okay. Ms. Chair, so there's only 2 committee members present. There's nothing on the agenda that requires any action by voting for the committee, so it wouldn't be a problem. But because there isn't a quorum, there can't be any official action taken, just FYI.
Right, yes. No, I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you. And I do know that Mr. Weddleton is out of town, as I am, and Ms. Zalatel told me that she would not be able to make this meeting either. So it looks like we very well may need to just consider this one to be postponed or canceled. I don't know really what would be the better term, but let's just postpone. So unless there's any objection to postponing this meeting, we will do that. So,
Madam Chair?
Yes, please go ahead, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Maybe if we started for a few minutes, another member or 2 would join us. I don't know, just throwing that idea out there.
Well, no, I appreciate that. And so I do know that, like I said, Mr. Weddleton and Ms. Zalatel won't be joining us. So we're talking about whether or not Mr. Constant or Mr. Dunbar could join us. And I don't know if anybody has any inside information about the availability of those 2 at this point. I know Mr. Constant was not present for another meeting that I believe we had yesterday. So I don't know what his availability is either. But you know, you're correct. We can certainly wait a few more minutes and see if we get another member. We would need both Mr. Constant and Mr. Forrest and Mr. Dunbar before we could constitute a quorum. Is that correct, Mandy? We would
Yes,
need
ma'am.
4 of us. Okay. So, and I hate to proceed because I do have some notes here from Mr. Weddleton in regard to Title 10 that he wanted to present or have presented so that we could discuss some of that. And with just 2 of us at this point, I don't see the point of trying to have an actual discussion on items that we may have to revisit.
Ms. Kennedy?
Ms. Allard, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to encourage us to go ahead and postpone. It seems like the meeting's we really need to have everybody involved in order to, I believe, accomplish anything in this meeting. So that's just my recommendation, whatever you decide. Sorry, I've got a house full of kids.
Believe me, I understand distractions. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, and I tend to agree just because, like I said, Mr. Weddleton's not going to be here yet. He did have several points that he wanted to bring up. And I know we've had some really good discussion, and I know Mr. Weddleton would hate for us to lose momentum, But at the same time, if we're really not a large enough group, I don't see that we really can carry on with that momentum even today. So, so we've been on here for 8 minutes now, and don't seem to have two more of the committee members joining us. So, Mr. Peterson, if you really don't object, I would go ahead and postpone this meeting, unless you think for sure that we're going to have two more members here shortly.
And Madam Chair, I don't, and so, yeah, so I was just looking at the chat there. Yeah, if they're not here by now, they're running 10 minutes late, so there's a good chance they might not be coming at all. So
they're getting served after midnight. You know, I don't want to.
somebody got
Okay.
served after midnight. What was that?
I think we got a little bit of Mr. Schuette's audio as he was logging on, but anyway. And Mr. Schuette, since you are on, we're discussing whether or not just to postpone this meeting because we do not have a quorum. There's only two members of the committee present, and we just may very well decide to postpone and just wait until our meeting later in the month. So, and now we've definitely been on for 10 minutes and don't have any more members joining us at this point. So I think
All right, I'll move to adjourn then.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peterson. I think, yeah, for the advantage of all of us that have a lot of things we can do other than wait around, I think we will just do that. So this meeting has been postponed, and Mandy, what's the date of the next meeting? It'll be pretty much 2 weeks from today. So would that be
It's the 18th.
18th? Okay. Okay, great. Okay, well then, thank you everybody for joining us, even though we didn't really get to accomplish anything, but I appreciate those that did log on. So this meeting has been adjourned, and we will continue with the same agenda on the 18th of March. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.